Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi's unparalleled victories in the Crusades were a testament not only to his military genius, but also to the strength of his intelligence network, which operated as the unseen force behind his success. At the core of this network were two remarkable individuals, Director of Intelligence Ali bin Sufyan and Deputy of Intelligence Hasan bin Abdullah, whose contributions in intelligence gathering and counter-espionage defined the strategic advantage Salahuddin enjoyed over his enemies. Meanwhile, the Crusaders, led by figures like German Director Harman, relied heavily on psychological warfare and deceptive tactics to undermine the Sultan's efforts. This part of the documentary explores the critical role played by intelligence in shaping the battles, the traps set by the Crusaders, and the resilience of Salahuddin's forces in the face of propaganda and betrayal. Ali bin Sufyan and Hasan bin Abdullah, the intelligence network Sultan Salahuddin. Ayyubi's remarkable success in the Crusades was not solely based on his military skills or his ability to command large armies. It was also heavily reliant on the strategic and precise use of intelligence. During his reign, the intelligence network he established became a crucial asset in protecting his territories and undermining his enemies. Two of the most pivotal figures within this intelligence apparatus were Ali bin Sufyan and Hasan bin Abdullah. Both played distinct yet complementary roles in ensuring the Sultan's military and political dominance across the region, especially in his long-standing battles with the Crusaders. Ali bin Sufyan, the mastermind behind the spy network. Ali bin Sufyan was one of Sultan Salahuddin's most trusted advisors and military commanders. However, his role in the Sultan's success was not merely as a field general, but as the head of the intelligence network that proved indispensable in the fight against the Crusaders. Ali bin Sufyan's intelligence operations were far-reaching, covering vast regions across the Levant and into Crusader-controlled territories. His main responsibility was the gathering of critical intelligence on Crusader movements, fortifications, and strategic objectives. He played an essential role in shaping Salahuddin's military strategy, providing crucial details that allowed the Sultan to anticipate enemy actions and craft counter-strategies. Ali bin Sufyan's methods included the use of spies, double agents, and informants. His agents infiltrated Crusader ranks, posing as lowly traders, farmers, or even pilgrims, which allowed them to gather crucial information on the Crusaders' plans and troop movements. Ali was especially skilled in intercepting communications, often managing to decrypt letters sent by Crusader commanders, or even planting false intelligence to confuse and mislead the enemy. One of the most successful operations under Ali's leadership was the Battle of Hattin in 1187. The intelligence provided by his agents in the Crusader camp was vital for Salahuddin's strategy. Thanks to these insights, Salahuddin was able to lead his forces to surround and decimate the Crusader army, capturing most of the leadership, including King Guy of Lusignan. But Ali bin Sufyan's network did not just work against the Crusaders. His efforts extended beyond the battlefield to monitor the activities of potential internal enemies, keeping Sultan Salahuddin informed of dissenters and traitors within his own ranks. This was particularly crucial in a time when political alliances were fluid, and betrayal could come from within just as easily as from the outside. Hasan bin Abdullah, the Deputy of Intelligence. While Ali bin Sufyan managed the broader operations of Salahuddin's intelligence network, Hasan bin Abdullah played a more specialized role as the Deputy of Intelligence. Hasan's strength lay in his acute ability to infiltrate enemy strongholds and gather first-hand information, which made him an invaluable asset to Salahuddin's efforts. Hasan was known for his sharp mind and remarkable ability to track the smallest details, whether it was the movement of Crusader troops or the diplomatic activities of the enemy. His work was particularly important during the siege of cities like Jerusalem and in ensuring that Salahuddin had a clear understanding of the enemy's morale and capabilities. One of Hasan's key strategies was his reliance on local informants, both Muslims and non-Muslims, who were entrenched in enemy territories. His informants were often from the local populations of cities under Crusader control. This allowed Hasan to obtain intelligence on Crusader strategies and even their internal politics, such as the rivalries between Crusader leaders, which would sometimes lead to disunity among their ranks. Hasan bin Abdullah's role was most evident during the siege of Jerusalem. While Salahuddin's forces laid siege to the city, Hasan's spies within the Crusader ranks provided real-time intelligence on their defenses and the movement of reinforcements. This intelligence was critical in ensuring that Salahuddin's forces did not waste time or resources but were able to mount a more effective siege and eventually liberate Jerusalem in 1187. Moreover, Hasan played a key role in monitoring the movements of Crusader relief forces from Europe, ensuring that Salahuddin was always several steps ahead in his preparations. His intelligence was also critical during the Third Crusade, which followed the fall of Jerusalem. Despite the Crusaders' determination to retake the city, Hasan's network provided key details that allowed Salahuddin to continue his defensive campaigns and maintain his stronghold in the region. The role of the intelligence network in key battles. The strategic advantage provided by both Ali bin Sufyan and Hasan bin Abdullah was most evident during the Battle of Hattin, the Siege of Jerusalem, and the Third Crusade. In all of these crucial moments, Salahuddin's military decisions were largely informed by the intelligence provided by these two men. Battle of Hattin, 1187. The Battle of Hattin was a pivotal moment in the Crusades, and it was Ali bin Sufyan's intelligence network that ensured Salahuddin's triumph. His agents had successfully infiltrated Crusader positions, giving the Sultan invaluable insight into their movements and strategies. Salahuddin was able to exploit weaknesses in the Crusaders' formation, leading to a crushing victory that changed the course of the Crusader occupation in the Levant. Siege of Jerusalem, 1187. During the Siege of Jerusalem, Hasan bin Abdullah's network of informants provided critical information about the Crusader defenses and troop deployments within the city. This allowed Salahuddin to plan a siege strategy that was both efficient and effective, ultimately leading to the peaceful surrender of Jerusalem and the successful re-establishment of Muslim rule in the city. Third Crusade, 1192. The Third Crusade, launched after the fall of Jerusalem, saw a coalition of European kings led by Richard the Lionheart and Philip II Augustus. Despite the superior numbers and resources of the Crusaders, Salahuddin's intelligence network kept him informed of their movements and tactics. This allowed Salahuddin to remain on the defensive, ultimately securing a favorable Treaty of Jaffa in 1192, which ensured that Jerusalem remained under Muslim control. The impact of their work. Ali bin Sufyan and Hasan bin Abdullah's intelligence work went far beyond the battlefield. It played a crucial role in ensuring that Salahuddin was always well prepared for any military engagement, allowing him to make informed decisions and react swiftly to changing circumstances. Their work also contributed significantly to the psychological warfare that Salahuddin employed during his campaigns. The Crusaders, often unsure of the reliability of their own intelligence, found themselves vulnerable to misinformation and surprise attacks. Meanwhile, Salahuddin's ability to maintain secrecy and ensure that his own plans were kept under wraps allowed him to maintain the initiative and gain the upper hand in numerous situations. The unity of the Muslim forces, which had been fragmented in the years leading up to Salahuddin's rise, was partly due to the effective use of intelligence in preventing internal betrayals and strengthening political alliances. By ensuring that his forces were well informed and united, Salahuddin was able to focus his efforts on defeating the Crusaders and securing the lands of the Levant. Legacy of Ali bin Sufyan and Hasan bin Abdullah. The work of Ali bin Sufyan and Hasan bin Abdullah helped solidify Sultan Salahuddin's reputation as a wise and effective ruler. Their success in intelligence gathering allowed him to achieve military victories that seemed impossible given the odds. Today, their legacy serves as a reminder of the importance of strategic intelligence in warfare and governance. Their network also provides valuable lessons in trust and loyalty, qualities that were paramount in their relationship with Sultan Salahuddin. In a world of shifting allegiances, they remained steadfast in their commitment to his cause, playing a crucial role in ensuring the success of his reign. German Director Harman and the Crusaders' traps. Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi's reign was marked by continuous conflict with the Crusaders, and one of the most notable figures among the Crusaders was German Director Harman. Harman's role as a strategic mastermind and the head of Crusader intelligence made him one of the most dangerous adversaries to Sultan Salahuddin and his forces. His methods in espionage and covert operations exemplified the cunning and ruthlessness of the Crusader efforts in the Holy Land. However, despite his brilliant strategies and manipulation, Harman's plans were often foiled by the superior intelligence and foresight of Sultan Salahuddin's network. German Director Harman, the cunning Crusader strategist. Harman was a key figure in the Crusader intelligence apparatus, known for his sharp strategic mind and the psychological warfare he employed against the Muslims. He was tasked with overseeing a variety of covert operations aimed at undermining Sultan Salahuddin's reign and military campaigns. His primary role was not only to manage direct military engagement, but also to run an extensive network of spies, informants, and double agents, which he utilized to gather intelligence and create disruptions within Muslim territories. Harman's intelligence network was built on the manipulation of local populations, exploiting both their fear and desires. He often used money, power, and promises to sway local leaders and influential figures, particularly in regions under Muslim control. By creating division and mistrust among Muslim leaders and their followers, Harman sought to weaken Salahuddin's influence and undermine his campaigns. He was adept at using local rivalries to his advantage, creating an atmosphere of uncertainty within Salahuddin's ranks. One of Harman's most infamous tactics was to use deceptive diplomacy to trick Muslim leaders into making compromises or diverting their attention from the Crusaders' true intentions. He often manipulated the situation to create false alliances, which diverted Salahuddin's forces from their intended targets, or made them vulnerable to Crusader surprise attacks. His operations involved carefully timed messages, bribes, and political maneuvering that aimed to destabilize the region and create chaos. Crusader traps and the use of money, power, and deceit. Harman's approach to warfare went beyond the battlefield. His intelligence network frequently involved complex deceptive tactics, including the manipulation of local populations through promises of wealth, power, and protection. He would often attempt to sow discord by exploiting divisions within the Muslim leadership, or even within specific factions, ensuring that Salahuddin's forces were scattered or confused when it mattered most. For example, Harman's agents would often infiltrate Muslim camps by pretending to be deserters or traitors seeking protection. They would then provide misleading information to create confusion or even manipulate key figures to betray their own people. In one instance, Harman arranged for a local Muslim leader to be bribed into leading Salahuddin's forces into a trap. However, the failure of this plan was a testament to the effectiveness of Sultan Salahuddin's own intelligence network, which was able to detect the subterfuge and prevent it from succeeding. The Crusaders were also notorious for their attempts to use girls, money, and power as tools for entrapment. Harman was reported to have orchestrated several schemes in which he sent young women, often disguised as local women, to seduce Muslim soldiers or leaders. The aim was to gain their trust, gather sensitive information, or, in some cases, influence military decisions through the exploitation of emotions and weaknesses. These traps, however, were rarely successful against Salahuddin's disciplined forces, who were constantly vigilant against such tactics, underestimating Salahuddin, the foiling of Harman's plans. Despite Harman's brilliant strategies and deceptive tactics, he made one fatal mistake: underestimating Sultan Salahuddin's intelligence network. While Harman relied on espionage and manipulation, Salahuddin had his own well-developed network of spies and informants, led by figures such as Ali bin Sufyan and Hasan bin Abdullah, who kept a close eye on the movements of the Crusaders and their deceptive schemes. Salahuddin's forces were often able to foil Crusader traps by acting on the intelligence they received. For example, false information or covert maneuvers planted by Harman's agents would sometimes be detected in advance, allowing Salahuddin to avoid ambushes or counter the Crusaders' attempts at creating chaos within his ranks. Sultan Salahuddin's ability to remain calm and composed, combined with his ability to detect deception, allowed him to stay one step ahead of the Crusaders. One significant example of this was during the Battle of Hattin. Harman, eager to trap Salahuddin's forces, attempted to create disarray within his camp by spreading misinformation and offering bribes to Muslim leaders. However, Salahuddin's well-coordinated intelligence network immediately intercepted these attempts and successfully neutralized them, leading to a stunning victory that destroyed the Crusader forces and ended their control over much of the Holy Land. The impact of Harman's traps and the importance of Salahuddin's intelligence system. Harman's traps had a significant impact on the course of the Crusades, but they were ultimately rendered ineffective by Salahuddin's intelligence system. The Sultan's ability to anticipate Crusader actions, thwart deception, and detect traitors within his own ranks was instrumental in his success against the Crusaders. While Harman's manipulation of local populations and use of deceit was initially effective in destabilizing certain regions, the unity and cohesion within Sultan Salahuddin's forces, fueled by trust, loyalty, and strategic foresight, allowed the Muslims to remain resilient. The success of Salahuddin's intelligence network can be attributed to two key factors: the loyalty and competence of his intelligence officers, such as Ali bin Sufyan and Hasan bin Abdullah, and his own ability to think critically and maintain a calm and rational approach in the face of adversity. The Sultan's leadership was characterized not only by military genius, but also by his wisdom in utilizing intelligence to predict and outmaneuver his enemies. Legacy of German Director Harman and the Crusaders' intelligence tactics. The legacy of German Director Harman lies in his role as a symbol of Crusader strategy and intelligence tactics during the time of the Crusades. His manipulative techniques, including espionage, deceit, and the exploitation of local populations, serve as a reminder of the complex nature of warfare and the importance of intelligence in both military and political conflicts. Despite the success of his plans, Harman's underestimation of Sultan Salahuddin's intelligence apparatus ultimately led to his failure. In contrast, Sultan Salahuddin's legacy is one of resilience, foresight, and the understanding that military victory is not solely dependent on battlefield prowess, but on the strength of one's intelligence network, strategic vision, and ability to maintain unity among diverse forces. Harman's efforts to disrupt and destroy the Muslim forces through manipulation and deceit highlight the moral and ethical challenges of warfare, but Salahuddin's responses underscore the value of integrity, loyalty, and wisdom in leadership. Types of stories from Crusaders and traitors which weakened Muslim soldiers' faith. Throughout Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi's reign, The Crusaders and internal traitors within the Muslim ranks employed various psychological tactics and deceptive narratives to undermine the morale and faith of Muslim soldiers. These stories and tactics targeted the faith, loyalty, and resolve of the Muslim forces, attempting to sow discord and create rifts within the ranks. Crusaders' propaganda, spreading doubt and fear. One of the most potent methods used by the Crusaders was the use of propaganda. Crusader leaders, understanding the importance of psychological warfare, spread exaggerated and often fabricated stories about Muslim leaders and their intentions. These stories were designed to weaken the faith of Muslim soldiers and convince them that their leaders, including Sultan Salahuddin, were corrupt, unjust, or untrustworthy. False claims of tyranny. Crusader sources often spread stories that Sultan Salahuddin was a tyrant who oppressed both Muslims and non-Muslims alike. These tales painted him as a man driven solely by power and military conquest, rather than a leader devoted to justice and faith. Such stories were intended to undermine his legitimacy and create doubt among his supporters. Demonizing the jihad. Crusader propagandists also portrayed the concept of jihad in a distorted manner. They depicted it as an unholy war, one that was fought out of vengeance or greed rather than in defense of faith. Such narratives were designed to make Muslim soldiers question the righteousness of their cause. Stories of divine punishment. Crusaders frequently circulated stories about divine retribution, claiming that Muslim forces were suffering defeats due to divine anger over their leaders' actions. These tales often found their way into Muslim camps, with enemies whispering that the disunity or setbacks were signs of Allah's displeasure, causing fear and confusion among the ranks. Depicting Muslim leaders as infidels. Another tactic employed was to claim that the Muslim leaders, particularly Salahuddin, had compromised with infidels or had adopted practices that were deemed heretical in the eyes of true Muslims. These accusations were meant to shake the faith of soldiers who believed in the purity of their cause. Internal traitors, divisions and corruption from within. In addition to external threats from the Crusaders, there were internal betrayals that targeted the unity of the Muslim forces. Some leaders and soldiers within Sultan Salahuddin's own ranks were tempted by money, power, or personal grievances. These traitors often spread discontent among the soldiers, weakening their resolve. Bribery and deception. Some traitors were bribed by the Crusaders to spread false stories within the Muslim camps. These stories often involved false promises of safety, wealth, or power if the soldiers were to abandon their posts and switch sides. The Shia-Sunni divisions within the Muslim ranks were also exploited, with certain factions seeking to undermine the unity of the Muslim forces by promoting sectarian strife. False allegations of corruption. Traitors within the ranks would often spread stories about the corruption or exploitation by the leadership, particularly Salahuddin himself. These rumors painted him as a leader who cared only for his own glory rather than the welfare of his soldiers, thus shaking their trust in him and his vision. Fear of reprisal. Some traitors used fear as a weapon, telling soldiers that if the Crusaders won, there would be horrific reprisals. They warned that those who fought for Salahuddin would be tortured, killed, or enslaved, thereby sowing doubt about the consequences of continued resistance. The intelligence network led by Ali bin Sufyan and Hasan bin Abdullah stood as a pillar of Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi's success, showcasing the vital role of strategy and foresight in warfare. Their relentless efforts in gathering critical information and exposing Crusader traps enabled the Sultan to achieve remarkable victories against seemingly insurmountable odds. On the other hand, figures like German Director Harman highlight the cunning yet ultimately flawed attempts of the Crusaders to destabilize Salahuddin's reign through manipulation and deceit. The Battle of Intelligence was not only a clash of minds but a testament to the values of loyalty, unity, and wisdom that defined Salahuddin's leadership. As this part concludes, the enduring legacy of Salahuddin's intelligence network serves as an inspiration, emphasizing the importance of preparation, trust, and moral integrity in overcoming the challenges posed by internal betrayal and external foes. In the final chapter of our journey through the life of Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi, we explore his enduring legacy, the challenges of his final years, and the profound lessons he left for the world. From his unshakable resilience to his unwavering faith in justice, Sultan Salahuddin's life offers timeless guidance for Muslims today. How did this humble yet powerful leader navigate his declining health, secure historic victories, and leave a legacy that still inspires millions? Stay tuned to uncover the lessons from his final days and the message he left for future generations. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to AI Deen Vision for more inspiring stories and insights. Hit the bell icon to never miss an update. Allah Hafiz, and see you in last episode.